remember that you can catch us live on Facebook. We are live currently as we speak at Splash FM 106 points. Abeokuta. 1067 panorama on Splash so that we can see the comments they roll as well as WhatsApp number 0817 555 1067. Those are the avenues that you can make use of to leave your comments. And of course, as the conversation progresses, we open lines.
That's right. And as it is, all of the avenues you can use to be a part of this, they've been rightly pointed out. And so it's very pertinent that you go to all of those platforms and join us. We have Eddie joining us for this one. Eddie Aina, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Benga. Good morning.
Good morning.
And hello out there.
Okay, well, let's try to reestablish connection with our very first guest as well because he's not picked up our call so far. When we come back, we'll get started with the issue of the day. Stay here. Okay, then, so we'll proceed straight with the issue of the day as we have it now.
The month of April approaches a climax. Today is day 28. The political space in Nigeria this month has been nothing short of intrigues, drama, and revelations. People expect more of these in the coming days, weeks, and months. The general elections loom large still for next year in Nigeria, and parties have to decide, vote, or even select who their flag bearers will be for the elections. Up for grabs includes tickets to contest Guber elections, House of Assembly elections, National Assembly elections at the Senate and House of Representatives level, and perhaps the grandest of all, the presidential ticket.
Our focus in this regard today is on the party whose symbol is the umbrella. In clearer terms, we're referring to the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. The party has its national convention slated for May 29th, and all eyes will be on who emerges as the party's presidential flag bearer. A list of gladiators to be the flag bearer will do, right? And they include Aminu Tambuwa, Onwachuku, Anakwenze, Dele Momodu, Inyesum Wike, Mohammed Hayatuddin, Peter Obi, Udom Emmanuel, and Sam Ohuabunwa.
Others include Atiku Abubakar, Bukola Saraki, Ayim Pius Ayim, Bala Mohammed, as well as the only female aspirant in the race, Oliver Tarela Diana. A major talking point that has dominated the space in recent time is the amount of the expression of interest and nomination form goes for. The PDP has pegged it's at 40 million naira for the presidential aspirants. In contrast, the party at the center, the All Progressives Congress, has been selling its form for more than double this amount. The PDP, as a matter of fact, has had to extend the timeline for deadline to the sale of these forms.
This morning to look at these intrigues surrounding the PDP as well as its upcoming national convention. We hope to have joining us. We've contacted him, but he's not been able to respond. Debo Ologwagba, who is the National Publicity Secretary of the party. Well, we also have Eddy Aina with us here in the studio, a veteran broadcaster, and some will call him a father figure as well, to be with us all through the conversation.
A whole lot of people will call him a grandfather figure as well.
Yes, of course I won.
Great. Eddy, we've observed all that has happened in the month of April so far.
Right.
I mean, were you shocked at the amount the APC had to declare its presidential tickets going for 100 million?
No, I am shocked, because if you look at if you look back in 2015, it was 27.5 million. And the president confessed that he didn't even have that money. Right. And he had to travel to Kaduna, to meet his bank manager, to raise that money. But in 2019, he didn't even tell us, how he got that money. So
right.
his situation must have improved. And now that we are talking of 100 million, and it shows you that a government that came on the platform of three issues: economy, security, and corruption, can come out with this. Because how do you expect people to raise that money? In fact, some people have computed it that even for the president to raise that 100 million, it would take 85 months. Now, because the president earns 1.4 million per month, and the vice president earns 1.2 million. So even if you add the allowances and esticles and what have you, how does he raise that money? Doesn't he have responsibilities, family responsibilities, friends and what have you, even his own personal responsibility? Although, sadly, in Nigeria, when you become governor or you become president or vice president, the state takes care of virtually everything, including your clothing.
Right.
But even at that, it's not possible to raise that 100 million. But you trust Nigerian politicians, they've run around the corner, to say, okay, this group, sponsored me. Some people have bought form for me, by youth group and what have you, bought form. But I'm surprised and I'm shocked. One, because of the poverty in this country. I mean, the poverty is so much, that not many Nigerians, live above the poverty line. So many Nigerians live below poverty line. And in fact, it's been calculated that for an increase, in the price of, food, you have 10 million people, joining the poverty line. So there is poverty in this land. There's no doubt about that. And so what are we encouraging? And we've been, talking about these Yahoo boys. We've been talking about money, and all that. This is what we are demonstrating now. And what is even surprising is the fact that we expect that some people will even run out of the race. Some people are even joining.
That's right.
I mean, the SY governor is going to join on, on the 3rd of May or thereabout. Fireme is going to join. And some people are joining. And you begin to wonder, where is the money coming from? I mean, the money does not reflect, the situation does not reflect what we are seeing on the ground now. That is easy money to people. So I'm surprised that any of the parties will even raise them, because we have been complaining that our politics has been too much monetarized. It's been too much monetarized. So, and we are not even coming back at all, apart from the salaries. So it's surprising to me.
I know we're speaking on the PDP today, but concerning the party, the price of APC nomination forms, don't you see this as them having shot themselves in the foot with what you've just described?
Well, they believe that being the ruling party, that they have done nothing wrong. In fact, some people have argued that the money will send pretenders, out of that race, because you have real contenders and you have pretenders. You have people who want to come in to be able to bargain, to negotiate for a particular position, either ministerial position or because you see some people even stepping down.
But isn't this going to be a hindrance, for some sort of people who may have more ability to actually lead and govern, having to drop out because they can't afford the forms?
Ability in Nigeria is money. Politics everywhere is money.
Even in
America, even in the US, you spend money, to run elections. But theirs is not, asking people to bring $100 billion,
exactly,
for you to contest. So it's a way to discourage people. in this country. It's a way to dehumanize people. It's a way to ensure that core, that 1%, of these politicians that have been ruling over us, continue in office. That's the way I see it. In fact, so many people have spoken against this, have written against this. It's unexpected, for a particular political party to say bring 100 million naira. How do you raise that money? Even if you're a businessman, 100 million is a lot of money. So I mean, it's going to send people who have the integrity, who have that trajectory, that antecedent.
Right.
We know them, people who can perform, but yes, they won't get there, because they don't have money. They don't have godfathers. Those are the things that repel honest, competent people in this country, from coming forward, to run for election.
I've heard some people suggest that for anyone who can be able to afford that amount, the EFCC should have its tentacles really alerted to such individuals. Do you share that sentiment as well?
Yes, I share that sentiment. You see, because the question is, where do you get that money? Where do you raise that money?
Especially as their assets have been
exactly,
cleared.
But they have caught the corners. You trust Nigerians are very ingenious. Politicians are very ingenious in Nigeria. If the man says, my friend, okay, look at Ngige. Ngige said, I was expecting 50 million. But now that they have raised it to 100 million, my friends will support me. And even in Wajuba, the Minister of State, for education, said some people have bought the phone for me. How does EFCC? I mean, it's the right of an individual to say, okay, you are my friend, especially if that friend has money. I mean, Dangote, so all of them, they have the money. They can say, okay, I want to support you. Even for our own VP, some people have bought the phone for him. So I mean, EFCC, yes, but they have cut corners. But ordinarily, we should look at it. And that's the reason why in other climes, there is this Unexplained Wealth Legislation Act. Unexplained wealth. I mean, it's like me buying one of these big ones, big vehicles, that Davido.
Or maybe buying a yacht.
Yeah, but I should explain where I got the money. Because I've been a bloody civil servant, bloody journalist, since 1978 or that. So that's just it. But in Nigeria, it's not working. Elsewhere, it is working. If you live above your means, they will ask questions. And that's the reason why I believe that at least EFCC should, at least set their searchlight on some of these individuals. But they say it's a group. It's my group. We don't say a group cannot raise money. But it's part of the shenanigans we have in this country. And until we make our politics less expensive, you won't get fine people, coming in there.
Okay, for those of you who are wondering, this is Panorama. You're tuned into Splash 106.7 FM. We are supposed to look at the intrigues surrounding the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party. We had been scheduled to have the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Ologunagba. I contacted him this morning. As a matter of fact, we spoke and he was ready, but for some reason, we cannot reach him at the moment. We'll keep trying to ensure that he joins us before we wrap up the conversation altogether. Let's look at the PDP as a party now.
Right.
One of the news that broke, I think from Monday, was the fact that there have been posters that have emerged somewhere in the north of former President Goodluck Jonathan wanting to run, even though he has come out to say, maybe it's not exactly his handiwork, but if Buhari endorses his candidacy, then he would consider running and all of that. Does this hamper the chances of the PDP? Because for what it's worth, and for all we know as at now, Goodluck Jonathan is a member of the People's Democratic Party.
Right.
Well, when I've been following the trend, and I'm intrigued, I'm surprised, I'm worried, that somebody who called on the president, even before the results were announced, to congratulate him, to say, okay, you've won this election. And because of that, he had attracted international respect, local respect, national respect.
Right.
We want to, throw that away, under the guise of wanting to come back. But there are so many issues surrounding the coming back of GEG. One, in 2018, maybe unknown to so many people, and maybe unknown even to GEG, I read in the Punch, sometimes, that in 2018, the president, Muhammadu Buhari, signed a law, an act, into law regarding vice presidents, deputy governors who were posed, to replace their principals, especially when the principal either died in office
Or
or
impeached.
impeached or removed from office. Cannot contest twice. You can only serve the term of your principal and serve and contest election once. You cannot contest election twice.
Right.
16th alteration that the president signed. Where that is now, I don't know, because that should have, at least there are lawyers, or unless that law is not. He signed it in 2018, the 16th alteration. So that the GEJ aspect of it. But like I said, I'm disturbed, and so many people have warned him. Even Asari Dokubo had warned him. You already have that personality, you have that integrity,
Right.
you already have that international respect. They are being asked, to go and supervise elections,
Right.
because it may be an attempt to even, ensure that the man is disgraced in a way. Because let's come to look at it. Even within PDP, they are saying Atiku abandoned them after losing the election to Dubai, and that he abandoned the party. He has not looked at Dubai, and now he wants to contest election. That was Wike even said it, that he will work against him. Now, not to talk of GEJ, who they are alleging did not even show up in any PDP affair.
Right.
Then he did not even show up at the convention in Port Harcourt, and even the one that they had. So how does it come in? So there are people who are saying no. And within APC, if he's going to go to APC, he's going to meet brick walls. One, there's the article, the Tinubu factor.
Right.
There's the Oshibaju factor.
Right.
And not only that, so many others who are interested in within PDP who want to contest. Amici is there. So many of them, they are there. Even we are hearing of Emefiele, and even this pastor, Bakari, had even, as at the last time, he said, I'm stepping aside. I want to pursue, my presidential ambition because I am going to be the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So they are there, and they will look at him as an outsider because you have not been an insider.
Right.
When Tinubu and Co and all the rest of them, the legacy parties were, forming putting APC together. Where were you? And even after that, you have never shown up in any APC affair. So I do not see it. I want to believe that. But they said it that it's the president that is interested, and some people within Asoro, they are interested in using him so that if he spends the next 4 years, the North can come back. Because the North really doesn't want to hands off. So that's why they want to lure him in. But I want to believe that he will meet brick walls, within the APC. And
Okay.
PDP.
Well, recently, Professor Ango Abdullahi, who is he's a political elder from the North, he made a statement about the Northern Elders Forum having listed some consensus PDP presidential candidates. I'm
Right.
talking about Bukola Saraki and
Bala Mohammed.
Yes, Bala Mohammed. Now, I know that the PDP has come out to refute these claims, but how did this notion come about in the first place? Does it not speak of some sort of discord within the PDP itself?
Well, I'm not sure it's a discord. I want to believe that it's because in an election like this, you have alliances, you have conspiracies.
Right.
You have realignments of forces. You have alignment and realignment of forces. You have alliances, you have conspiracies. It's part of the cutting of corners, within PDP itself. But you will expect it to happen because let's look at PDP. PDP has spent 7 years out of power, 7 years plus.
Right.
And that is after 16 years of being in power, in charge. In fact, they were touting 60 years, but the thing was cut short. And they have lost 2 elections, and they don't want a repeat of all that. So that's the reason why PDP is very, very desperate about the consensus arrangement. But the consensus arrangement was done by the NEF, Northern Elders Forum.
Right.
But even within the Northern Elders Forum too, they did not agree with Ango Abdullahi. Because Baba Ahmed came out to say, yes, there is no discourse within NEF. What we did was to say it was Ango Abdullahi's opinion. It's his own view of looking at the issue of consensus.
Right.
It's not that of NEF. So that tells us that within NEF itself, they didn't agree to that. And that's the reason why PDP did not agree to it. But the first set of people that opposed it were Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar said, I was not part of the process. I was not part of the decisions. I was not part of, they didn't consult me. So I cannot be bound by that agreement, by that decision. So I'm not part of it. And the other person was the former Jigawa, governor.
Right.
He said, Sanusi, he said, look, this is not a northern agreement, Sulu Lamido, whatever.
Right.
He said, I'm not part of this agreement. How can you choose consensus for us when all of us, want to, partake of this? So he too opposed it. He said,
sorry to cut you short. Is the consensus arrangement not against democracy in the first place?
Oh, it is. In fact, I've always said it that it's a fraud. Consensus is a fraud because it's like you are disenfranchising people. Go and look at where they have used consensus. Some people will be aggrieved. Even the last one, the APC primary, the APC Congress. There was this man, he is from Delta, but he's resident in the northern part of the country. Mm-hmm. And he said, look, I have spent 300 million naira, to run around this country. I want to be chairman. He was almost weeping. And why are you disenfranchised? Why do you disallow me? But because the president said they will pay them back their money, but up till now, they have not even paid that money. So it's a fraud because, but for the fact that the National Assembly said for consensus to work, the people who you want to step down, you want them step down, they must write a letter to say it is indeed a fact that I stepped down, for Benga, Odera, because I believe they have qualities more than me, or because of him. So if you don't have their letters, it's a problem.
Eddie,
the court will not
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. We are due for a commercial break. So when we come back, we'll pick up from exactly where you would leave off now. Right. Stay with us. This is Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Splash FM 106.7.
Àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ gbogbo aláṣeyọrí ayọ̀ aláṣeyọrí class home and property limited lónìí ọ̀pọ̀ ilẹ̀ wọn ti di wọ́n mú tirẹ̀ báyìí lórí owó tí kò ga ju ara lọ. Randa extension hilltop máwùkọ́ àti kọ̀bàpẹ́ 100,000 ní plọ̀tì yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ń lo oko wọn ti di ọ̀pọ̀ yòókẹ́. Mo lọ́kẹ̀dẹ̀ 25,000 ní plọ̀tì kan bẹ̀. Kọ̀bàpẹ́ alábàtà òṣèlè 30,000 ní plọ̀tì ẹ̀ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ẹ̀gbá ìdajì sí i. Bó sì jẹ́ ékàlẹ́ra odidi lẹ́gbà sí pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní tẹ́ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí ilé oko wọn torí pé àwọn onírà àti onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti là ń lọ́yẹ̀ lórí kan tẹ́ẹ̀gbìn sí ilé oko tẹ́ẹ̀ bára. 4 Mọ̀túndì Abíọ́láwé Ilego Daily Express furniture ni wọ́n wà Ọlọ́ṣogbo Abẹ́òkúta Ògùn State 08033086557 08033086557. Lóòótọ́ àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bá ń bá wa ná dandan ní kẹ́ láṣeyọrí ayọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Àǹfààní yóò pin lọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ oṣù tàwa yìí.
Abeokuta, congratulations, yo! Hospitality industry leader, don't land the bar. For Abeokuta, yes, Academy Suits, the Babala Hotel in Wetanda for Ibadan, the cultural capital of Yoruba land. Don't open for Abeokuta Academy Suits. Una home away from home hotel. We get the ogbonge comfort for we customer, plus include leisure with proper cleanliness. Na Academy Suits to get am, plus include Olympic size swimming pool with security na watertight. For our restaurant, you go Baladu Continental and the local food with the checkele money. Everything about Academy Suit na quality with unbeatable low price. To confirm waiting at the talkie. Forward to match now to Academy Suit. Went and Dagidigba beside Abadia Central Mosque. MKO Abiola Way, Abeokuta, Abikukuma. They call this number 0817-6666-6601. Academy Suit. Na home away from home.
ABR ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àbísúyọ lóko bọ̀pá dé. Wọ́n ní ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ kárí ẹ̀ lórí ìgbọ̀ ọ̀tún. Pàápàá àǹfààní tó gbọ́mọpọ̀n dáadáa. Ilẹ̀ oko mo lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ orílẹ̀ ìlúgùn Ọlọ́run dá 25,000 ní plọ̀tì báyìí. Ẹ ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ẹ̀gbá ìdajì sí i. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ éèkà lẹ́ra ẹ gba plọ̀tì kan sí i. Ilẹ̀ àgbẹ̀ Kọ́bápẹ́ alábàtà ọ̀pẹ́jì 30,000 per plot. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta lẹ́gbàsí ó sì jẹ́ éèkà lẹ́ra ẹ ó gbòdìdì kan sí i. àwọn onírà ti wà ńlẹ̀ láti ra èrè oko yìí 39 NTA Road ọgbẹ̀ Abẹ́òkúta 08033706236 08033706236 ABR ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ abisuyọ lóko bọ̀kọ̀ ìgbọ̀tún fáwọn àgbẹ̀. àǹfààní yóò pẹ́ lọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ oṣù tàwa yìí.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I must. Besides, you can always video call me.
Hey, what if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, but I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Splash FM 106.7.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM. Thank you very much for staying with us on Splash 106.7 FM, the Integrity Station. We're glad to announce that we have joining us from his location now, Debo Ologunagba, who is the Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
All right. So let's get to it. There are talks that border around the decision of the PDP not to follow what has been in its constitution in terms of zoning. I mean, why did the PDP go that way? I know it was a recommendation of the zoning committee that was set up, but people have felt it should have been turn of the South to produce a president.
Thank you once again for having me. Good morning. Well, I need to put it on the base. I mean, you came with the decision of the PDP. That is clearly wrong. The decision has not been taken. Now, on the basis, I think we need to put the foundation right. The PDP is an organic party. It's the only organic party in Nigeria today. It is a party that was formed and founded on rules and regulations and processes. And in that regard, it is controlled and it is basically governed by its constitutions and its rules and regulations. Number one, the idea of the rotation of zoning, as you might call it, or whatever anybody might refer it to, is a provision that is consistent and a practice and conveyance that is consistent with the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria, which specify the issue of federal character and the fact that there should be no predominance of one ethnic group or religious group or cultural group over one another, so that we can, as a people, move ahead as a nation like a rainbow coalition. Now, the PDP, being an organic party with processes, follows its rules and its constitution. It is not correct that this decision has been taken. Because we have a process, we follow due process, follows our regulation of what we have done as a party, is to ensure that we deepen conversation and deliberations and negotiation of all interest groups within the party and the stakeholders. So in that regard, what we did was to set up a 37-man member committee representing one each state and, of course, the Federal Capital Territory. And in line with our process, the committee started and then submitted its recommendation and its report. In line with our process, the National Working Committee of the party has scheduled a meeting of the National Executive Committee, which was the body that set up the the 37-member committee in the first instance. And the whole essence of that is to show that conversation across the country on the issue of zone. That recommendation will be presented to the next meeting, which will be scheduled for Thursday, the 5th of May. And at that time, a decision one way or the other will be taken. Again, I need to emphasize the fact that our processes, our rules and regulations, and our internal processes, and our constitution is, of course, subject to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999 as amended. And in that constitution, provisions were made for people and qualification criteria were stated as to who can qualify to contest for any position in this country. And that is a fundamental right that no one can take away and no document can take away. So it will not be correct to say that the PDP has taken a decision not to zone or to zone.
Okay.
It will be presented to the NEC, and the NEC, in its wisdom, will take appropriate decision, and it will be communicated to Nigerians after vigorous and detailed discussion among the interest group or world consideration, particularly the unity and progress.
Okay. Can you still hear us, by the way? We lost you for some few seconds. Okay, great. Right. Okay. So you're exactly saying that the decision has not been reached by the national board of the party to adopt the recommendation of that committee not to zone and allow everyone to just contest. That's what you're saying, in essence.
Well, what I have said, and I need to re-emphasize that, what I have said is that as a party of processes and rules and regulation and procedures, we have been following our own internal process. And the way it works is this, and I'll re-emphasize that for clarity. The National Executive Committee have taken a decision to set up a 37-member committee. The committee has sent this report to NEC through the National Working Committee. The National Working Committee, pursuant to the receipt of the report and recommendation, has scheduled a meeting of the National Executive Committee for Thursday, the 5th of May, for a consideration of the recommendation and the report therein. What we need to do is to allow the National Executive Committee to consider the report and the recommendation contained therein and make a determination one way or the other. And then thereafter, we can then begin to discuss the issues contained and arising from that decision. So that's what I've just said. It is not that a decision has been taken to zone or not to zone.
Okay, thank you for that clarity. Then perhaps we should then talk about the news that dominated the space in the past week about Goodluck Ebele Jonathan wanting to contest for the presidency in 2023 under the platform of the All Progressives Congress. I know he's come out to say that, a few things from his side. And I'm also aware that you gave a response in the Punch newspaper. I think that was yesterday in that regard, that it's his choice if he wants to run on the platform under the party, and that you're not aware of anything in that regard. My question is this: if that is true, if that news is anything to go by, does this hamper the chances of the People's Democratic Party come 2023?
First of all, let me make a clarification again. Okay. I don't know the reporting you are quoting me to be saying. I never said one way or the other whether he can run or not run. I never said that. What I said, and I'm saying again, is that I do not, and as a party, we do not react or respond to speculation. You just said it again, and there has been speculation that the former president will be running under the platform of another party. What I have said, and I will insist on saying, is that we do not respond to speculation. When and if that happens, now we can take it at that point. It will be premature for me to imagine, and your question was, if he does run. What if he doesn't run? So, I don't want to begin to speak to that. Because if I make a response one way or the other, it doesn't happen that way, I can take it back. So, for us, who wait and will respond to issues that they unfold. We don't react to speculation.
Right. So then let's talk about the amount that nomination forms sell for. I'll also make a parallel at this point. I mean, it's just right that I do that. And that's because Nigerians, I'm talking in this regard as well. APC sells its nomination and expression of interest forms for the presidency at 100 million naira. For your party, you sell just at 40 million, basically. Do you think this has put your party in a better stead in terms of that amount?
I mean, thank you for bringing this up. And let's talk about the party called APC that we have been confronted with this country. The beginning of the APC is hurriedly put together bunch of people who came only with propaganda lies to deceive Nigerian people. And then they became detached with Nigerian people. They promised change, but they came with chaos in every sector of the economy, from security to economy to our education sector. And you could hear that yesterday, that someone who could not even manage the little crisis within ASU and the education sector is now aspiring under that platform to be president again, of course, is entitled to. But I can tell you this, it is just to let you know exactly the character and behavior and the composition of the APC that is completely insensitive, that is detached to realities and completely unconcerned about the feelings of Nigeria. I mean, look at it from this angle. We start from the House of Assembly, which is the closest representation of the people for our party. And we're not talking about money now. We're talking about people and ability to participate. We're talking about this president, this government, signing to law, they're not too young to run. And then you place 2 million for young people or persons to contest to be members of House of Assembly. Contrast that to that of the PDP, our own party, that believes in the people. And then you talk about 600,000 naira. I mean, this is between light and darkness. So Nigerians can make a determination about which party is truly the lovers of Nigeria. Because indeed, the lovers of PDP are in the grassroots. And we need to connect to them. We need to listen to them. And in listening to them, you don't just listen to them. You must appreciate the challenges and ensure that you open the space to enable them to participate. More importantly, again, you need to notice that. And we need to know that this, as Nigerians, about what PDP has done with regard to inclusiveness. On our form, we encourage young people to participate in the political process. So, what did we do? We took a decision, a concise decision, a deliberate decision to encourage young people. And what did we do with that? We reduced by 50% forms for any aspirant under the platform of PDP between the ages of 25 and 30. So that is significant, and Nigerians should know that. First, we make sure we expand the space for women participation. 2 days ago, the national women leader of our party organized a symposium, a one-day kind of enlightenment, an interactive action meeting with all aspirants that are female aspirants under our platform for all positions. And we have almost 300 female aspirants. I think these are all significant moves by the PDP, telling you that this is the party of the people. And that's why we call ourselves People's Democratic Party. And the emphasis there is people's. Because we know we're people's, different traditions, different religions, different cultural backgrounds. But we know that we can form a rainbow coalition to have a nation that we desire. Now the contrast is very clear. They are detached to the people. I mean, look at it. This president came in 2014 and said he borrowed 27 million to purchase the phone. Today, this same president sat at a meeting where the price of presidential share was fixed to 100 million. I mean, this is the hypocrisy that you found in this government from bottom to the topmost in the APC. So we're not looking at it on the fact that people will vote all because we know it is that we are concerned about the people. Nigerians know that the People's Democratic Party is their party. And I'm sure by next year, 2023, they will connect to the PDP and work with us in our mission to rescue and rebuild our country that is now badly fractured. Again, on the security, on ethnic lines, on the economy, or just name it. This government, the APC government, failed. It has woefully failed, and it is irredeemably failed this country. But of course, Nigeria should not despair. Hope is on the horizon. The PDP is ready, and we are here to work with the Nigerian people in partnership so that we can achieve our destiny as a nation that God has so much blessed with so much resources, both human and resources that are natural that are there for us to start and excel as a nation.
Okay. Because of our time, because we'd have to wrap this up in very few minutes' time, let's allow a few people to be a part of the conversation. Perhaps I want to ask you a few questions so you can also provide answers to that, if that's fine. Okay,
All right, the phone lines are open now. 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067. Those are the numbers that you can call to be a part of the conversation this morning.
You could also call 0705 050 1067. We're talking with the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Debo Ologunagba, who has joined us this morning. We're looking at the party's plans and its upcoming national convention slated for May 29th and some other intrigues around that, basically. The numbers, once again, they are 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067 as well as 0705 050 1067. You could also make use of WhatsApp, by the way. The WhatsApp line is 0817 555 1067. Okay, before we let you go, while we wait for the calls to come through now, what do you make of the statement credited to Peter Obi, who has insisted, I mean, this is still bordering on zoning, that the presidency must of a necessity come to the southeast?
Well, like I said, this is a party that's a family. We discuss our issues, our differences, our opinions in a very cordial way. We have no issues. I respected former governor and former vice president candidates of our party. His Excellency Peter Obi is entitled to his opinion. He can raise it, he can canvass it. But ultimately, what I can tell you is that this is a party that is united as a family. Whatever decision we take, we have all resolved to work together because of the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians and the need for us to rescue our country from this rudderless APC government. So, irrespective of the opinion right now, the party will take a decision. And that decision, I know, every aspirant and every party member would kill behind that decision because it will not be an imposition to be a decision by every member of the party. And you can see that already playing out. You can see the pictures and videos all over the place where so several of the actors under their platform, they move around together, they discuss together. You can see the friendship exhibited both in private and public. That tells you about the fact that this is a party, that is a family, and that we can discuss our issues without rancor, and we can agree. We've done that before, and we have done these issues severally. This is a party that has order, and rules, and regulations. Above all, it is an organic party that is bonded together for the same common purpose of unity and progress, and of course, most importantly, the security of our country. So, His Excellency Peter Obi is entitled to opinion, but ultimately, he's a party man, and we know that each and every of our actors are working together with the bigger aim and objective of rescuing Nigeria from this precipitation.
Okay, the calls are coming in thick and fast now, so let's pay attention to them as we have. And just hold the line, I'm sure you'll be able to hear whatever opinion or questions each person has. Hello, good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
The guest. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Folani Bolan from Shagawile.
Please keep your thoughts down to 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yes,
Thank you.
I just want to ask my question. The fact remains that I've seen the narratives of most of the PDP, members, that they so much believe that they don't believe in zoning. They believe in the people, the right person to do the presidency. You understand? But as a matter of fact, we are having indirect and direct rule. When they said they are not, focusing on zoning, what about when they said consensus? It's not going to be easier for them to do consensus if otherwise. Because if they are not doing zoning, people are coming, different aspirants is going to come up, and at the end of the day, they need to do a proper direct primary to emerge the best. You understand now? So I want to know if it is possible, as in if they are not doing zoning, is it going to be easier for them to do consensus indirect rule? Indirect, what's it called?
Indirect primaries.
Yes, indirect primaries.
Thank you very much. Thank you for asking the question. Let's take one more call and then we'll just go back to the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP. He's still with us. And here is that call. Hello, good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Afolabi, thanks for calling us.
Yes, good morning.
1 minute, please.
I don't know whether the publicity secretary of PDP is still listening to us.
He is. Go on.
I want to ask him a direct question. Now, I as a person, I don't always support zoning. I don't buy the idea of zoning. I want the best food. Now, if you look at the current situation of this country, we discover that we just need to apply zoning at this material political time of the country. So, and the whole focus is to the south, especially southeast. And if you look at your counterparts, the APC, the focus, we are seeing everything we are seeing, all the pointers are directed to the southern part of the country. Don't you think that if perchance a northerner wins the ticket of PDP, if you conduct primaries and the northerner wins the ticket of PDP, don't you think this might affect your general performance at the election? That is my question.
All right, Afolabi, thank you very much for calling us. Let's get back to Debo Ologwagba now for him to respond to these questions. Did you hear the question, sir?
Yeah, I got the first one very clearly. The second one, it's a little bit...
Oh, okay. The second one was basically on if a northerner emerges as the flag bearer of your party, would it hamper the chances of the party at the polls, basically?
All right, thank you very much. And I want to thank Afolabi. I didn't remember I can't get the name of the first caller, but Afolabi called the second time. I think I thank him for this call. I appreciate the interest in our party because they are both very deep. They have deep knowledge of what we do in the party, and that's very interesting. We want Nigerians to be engaged. We want them to know exactly what we're doing, and then we want their suggestions and their opinions. Yeah, the first thing was to clarify that a party has three options in choosing its candidates for any election: direct, indirect, and consensus. And that was clearly stated, and those provisions were made in the new Electoral Act 2022. Now, a party is free to choose any of those, provided all the rules and regulations and the guidelines of INEC and the party constitutions are obeyed. So I think we don't have any issue with that. We leave that to the party to decide, and one of those decisions will be one of those that will be considered at the next NEC meeting, which is on next week, Thursday, on the 5th of May. However, it is clear, and I must emphasize this, that we must note that because PDP is a party of order, and that we do our things according to regulation, whatever position, whatever options are adopted for purposes of producing the primary primary elections and for choosing our candidate for elections, what we can guarantee to Nigerians that the process is to be free, transparent, credible, and anyone that emerges from the many aspirants will be a candidate of the party that every other participant would know emerged through a credible process that was free and fair. And so that underlines the issue. Whether we use the direct or indirect or consensus, what is important is that process must be transparent and must be free and fair. And we're committed to that as a party. On the issue, again, I started by saying to you, we don't respond to hypothetical questions. If. However, what is clear is this. That we as a party believe that there are qualified Nigerians, good Nigerians, capable Nigerians within our party. Of the 17 aspirants that have indicated interest today, any of them from any part of the country can and will at any election defeat the best candidate, if any, from the APC or any other party for that matter. Because this, the party, like I said earlier, is organic, it has processes, it has the vision and mission for this country. Now, the issue of if this happens and if that happens, it's not an issue that I want to engage in responding one way or the other. What I know that as a party we're committed to working together in the interest of Nigerians and Nigeria. We can only have a country, we can only play politics if we have a secure environment. Our party is concerned about the insecurity of the country. Our party is concerned about the poverty level. Our party is concerned about the unemployment. Our party is concerned about the disunity that have been planted by this presidency and the APC. We started the government with the issue of dividing this country by making inflammatory statement of 97% and 5%, and classification and classification of Nigerians into that category, based on whether you voted or they voted or didn't vote for the party. There's a party that uses that as a policy in appointment, and that's why you find the disunity and the fault lines expanding every day. We are here to bring back Nigerians together so that we can be secure, we can have a common purpose, have a common goal, and behave and act and move forward as a nation. So we are concerned about those issues. And each and every aspirant under the platform of the PDP are committed to these ideas and this vision. I think that's more important for us because there must be a Nigeria for us to be able to play politics. And like I always say, I'm not sure anybody is playing politics today in Ukraine. We don't want to be in that country. This is where this APC and the government today is taking this country into, and we want to kind of halt that slide. And that's why we're in a mission to rescue our country and to begin the rebuilding process with all Nigerians, irrespective of their political affiliation, religious background, living, cultural living. You see, material. What we need is a country that is united, where everyone will feel a sense of belonging. And they know that whatever their goodwill and their ideals and their thoughts and their aspirations is, they can achieve it within the bigger, unified, peaceful country. So we are committed to that, and every aspect of the under the platform of the PDP are committed to this process.
All right.
And to this idea.
All right. Thank you very much, Debo Ologwangba, for joining us, the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll proceed on a break. When we come back, we'll look at a lot of the things that he has said and proceed to the second segment. And we still have Eddy Aina with us, by the way. So stay tuned. Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in Apuara there. Eh?
Oga, no. As you make plenty come. Now why I use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial *544# from an existing SIM to obtain.
Oh yeah, take. Go buy food for Mama Chi, please. Make she add Ovajara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
eléyìí gángan dùn torí pé bàbá ṣe báyìí á dùn ní iléeṣẹ́ Atlayo Estate and Homes Limited torí pé àǹfààní yìí kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ onígàngàn àti ilẹ̀ ìyànàgún fati randa 150,000 ní bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni ilẹ̀ ń bẹ ní òbúrò òwú ládùúgbò extension akíjọ́rìlàlà ilẹ̀ Atlayo Glorious Point Estate náà ń ta wàràwàrà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti rẹ̀ yìí kéyìn náà wọn lẹ̀ yìí ẹ gba àpò ìrẹsì kan sí i ká fi ṣọdún ìtùnú àwẹ̀ ilé oko wọn alábàtẹ̀rinlẹ̀ ìṣìún múlọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ba pẹ́ 30,000 ní plọ̀tì ń bẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta ẹ gba ìdajì sí i bó sì jẹ́ kalera ẹ gbòdìdì sí i àwọn onímọ̀ sì ti wà ńlẹ̀ láti ṣàlàyé fún yín lórí oko tí ò bọ̀ oko yín mu lọ́lọ́ báyìí ẹni yòówù tó bá ti ra ilé oko níléeṣẹ́ Atlayo ẹ máa tọ́jú rìsíìtì yín torí pé ẹni márùn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ náà fi ọ̀kadà ṣèpàjẹ́ 30 ilé ìjà lólebú Lagos Abeokuta expressway lọ́nà tó lọ sí Biori láfẹ̀wá Abeokuta 08138454500 08138454500 ó yá àǹfààní yìí kò gbọdọ̀ fún ẹrú torí pé mo ti dorílẹ̀ mo ti daláyọ̀ ìparí oṣù táwa yìí láǹfààní yòó.
7 prophetic Thursdays, Thursday ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ méje. Ìpàdé àdúrà alágbára ńlá kápákọ̀ rí ẹ̀ ní clear comment my helper.
Ìwé orin Dáfídì orí kọkànlélọ́gọ́fà wí báyìí pé èmi yóò gbé ojú mi sórí òkè wọn ni. Níbo ni ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi yóò ti wá? Ìrànlọ́wọ́ wa máa ti ọwọ́ Olúwa wá. Tí ó dá òun ayé. Kò ní jẹ́ kí ẹsẹ̀ wa kí ó yẹ. Ló pa wá mọ́ nínú ewu tọ̀sán tó wù. Àdúrà yìí láwùjọ gbà papọ̀. Lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ fún dídí Thursdays méje. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Thursday March 31 títí wọ May 12 ọdún táwa yìí. Láàrin aago méje òwúrọ̀ sáago mẹ́wàá àárọ̀. Ó máa lágbára. Nínú ilé Ọlọ́run wa. God of Testimony Prophetic Ministry International. Tó wà 121. Elect Road Ìfẹ́dẹ́gbọ̀ bus stop Òkèlè Àǹtóró Abẹ́òkúta. Here comment my helper. Níbo ni ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi yóò ti wá lákòrí ẹ̀? Prophet Dr. Akande Abiola Baba Testimony. Yóò máa gbàdúrà fún nípojúpò. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ ta nílò máa tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́. Àgbàyanu ẹ̀rí ńláńlá ló máa tẹ̀lé. Torí pé Jésù l'Olúwa.
Iléeṣẹ́ Napoleon Mesh and Investment Limited tó jẹ́ ìka Breezy River Entertainment sọ pé oríire ti kàn wọ́n náà pẹ̀lú ètò Land Easy Buy. Ǹgbọ́ èlò gan ló ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ tó fẹ́ fi ralẹ̀. Ìrọ̀rùn ti dé. Owó tó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ ò bá ká owó lẹ̀ tó fẹ́ rà rárá. Lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Napoleon Mesh. Ètò Land Easy Buy tí wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ aṣọ ìwọ náà di onílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ kan láti lè fi ìdí àjọṣepọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ IAS àti Napoleon Mesh múlẹ̀ lórí ètò Land Easy Buy. Ní tó fẹ́ ra profit setting táǹtà ní 300,000 báyìí àti first class setting táǹtà ní 250,000 naira báyìí 100,000 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀rà púlọ̀tì kan bá a ṣe tà nígbà ẹ̀dínwó. Má gbàgbé o pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ Napoleon Mesh Land Easy Buy iyekíye tó bá ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ni kó wá san sí IAS wọ́n á fi ń tó kò kàn wá wá dáwó náà padà fún wọn lóṣù mẹ́ta gbáko pé 08092944848 May 3rd lànfààní yìí máa dópin o.
ẹ jẹ́ àjọ rìnrìn àjò pẹ̀lú ọkọ̀ tí ara rẹ̀ dá ṣáṣá bí ọkọ̀ bá wọ́n wúkọ́ tó ń ṣe ségesège kì í kó lọ́kọ̀ lé SLO Auto Solution ti balẹ̀ bàgẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn irinṣẹ́ tó jẹ́ ti ìgbàlódé ultra modern diagnostic machine tí yóò sọ ipò tí ọkọ̀ yín wà gẹ́lẹ́ kí a tó tọwọ́ bọ̀ ní SLO Auto Solution àwa kì í ṣe atọ́kọ̀ṣe tí yóò máa wo orí fífọ́ tó sì jẹ́ làkú ẹ̀gbẹ́ ní dọkọ̀ láàmú SLO Auto Solution ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi ọkọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ bíi car SUV jeep tàbí buses ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀ kí ẹ jẹ́ kí a bá yí tọkọ̀ yín ṣe ní Slow Auto Solution kó sì máa lọ sẹ́rẹ́rẹ́ sẹ́rẹ́rẹ́. Má fà àkókò ṣòfò mọ́ ó yẹ ti àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè WhatsApp call sórí 09093108140 09093108140 SLO Auto Solution ìrìn àjò dìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú ọkọ̀ tí ara rẹ̀ dá ṣáṣá.
ẹgbẹ́ àwa pèdèpèdè FIBAN ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ń fi àsìkò yìí pé gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa sí FIBAN week 2022 ìrun jímọ̀ la fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò ní April 29 May 1st la máa fọpẹ́ wa hàn ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì níwájú Olúwa. bó bá wa dọ́jọ́ Monday ọjọ́ kejì oṣù kẹrùn-ún ní gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún Emefa máa fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé FIBAN week 2022 ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. alága ọjọ́ náà ní Comrade Yemi Sonde, Chairman Yes FM, guest lecturer Honourable Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí, keynote address Right Honourable Olúkúnlé Olúọmọ, Speaker Ogun State House of Assembly. àlejò pàtàkì ọjọ́ náà Alhaji Waheed Odùṣílẹ̀, Commissioner for Information and Strategy. ètò gbogbo ń tẹ̀síwájú àmọ́ Macy's làṣẹkágbá gangan ní OOPL. lọ́jọ́ yẹn gan la máa ṣiṣọ́ lójú àwòrán lé ẹgbẹ́ àwa pèdèpèdè. a ò lè dá kọ́. ìdí nìyẹn tá a fi ń pe àwọn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀kùlú ẹlẹ́yinjú àná ṣoore-ṣoore tí kì í sú láti wá bá wa ṣe. ẹni tó máa ṣíwájú ètò gbogbo lọ́jọ́ náà ni Excellence Engineer Naima Salaka Oyedele, Deputy Governor Ogun State. aṣọ àǹkárá la fi wọlé o. béèrè bó ṣe lè rí aṣọ àǹkárá tiẹ̀ rà lọ́wọ́ ẹgbẹ́ FIBAN èyíkéyìí. a máa retí yín o.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
I like talk radio.
Welcome to your number one talk radio station.
Fasten your seatbelts.
This is your favorite station.
Splash FM 106.7.
Panorama.
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 Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
All right, we are 4 minutes past 9 a.m. in the city of Abeokuta. Your dial is still tuned to Splash 106.7 FM, and this is Panorama. Quite the interesting football conversation behind... Oh, yes, I did, because people will always wonder what's the excitement on Facebook Live. Yeah, so... But anyway, we welcome you back to the second segment from the pages. I have with me the Vanguard newspaper.
I have Nigerian Tribune. Before we delve into the papers, I'm sure Eddie wants to just 2 minutes respond to or question a few things that Debo Ologwangbe said.
Right, then pick up from where you left us about consensus being a fraud.
Right. But if Debo Ologwangbe, played the role of the spokesperson for the party, because there are so many issues. He's giving the world now the impression that the NUC might upturn anything, ever upturn the entire thing. That 37-man team, 19 from the north.
Right.
In fact, if you add the federal capital territory, they will be 20.
Right.
So they were many, and so they held sway there. Apart from that, the fact that this year, this 2023, we are seeing a different format. Yes, the party says it's in their constitution, section 7C, but the fact remains that this time around, PDP has lost election, twice. They lost power, for the past 7 years. So they want to do it at all. And they believe that it's only the North that can give that leeway to them. And that's the reason why they want to zone it to the North. And if you listen to, if you watch Atiku very well, in fact, in 2010, Atiku did not even congratulate GEJ because he won the primaries. Because he said, it is our turn. That is the northern turn. So when is the turn, you get it. When it's another person's turn, the south, you now look for other means, to say, okay, we have to do it this time around. And that's the question, that's the question he should answer. Because all this May 4, May 5 thing, Thursday, will not yield anything. The articles and co are bent on, having that. And that's the reason why the consensus issue was there. But in the absence of consensus, they believe that they have the number, the delegates. And if you look at the delegates list, Kano, Katsina, and even where you have war in the northeast, they have more numbers, and you don't have underage children and what have you. So they believe that when they go to that for that delegate thing, they will turn the table and in Northern will emerge. Is that fair? That's the question. He should answer.
All right. Back to from the pages now. Headliner: Electoral Act Ngige Nwajuba opts not to resign.
Yeah.
Constitution permits aspirants to resign only 30 days to poll. That's from Wajuba. Section 84, subsection 12 of Electoral Act has been struck down by court. That is from Ngige. Party aborts resignation notice. That story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. How I reconciled with Alafin before he died. That's from Ladoja on page 10. Why we want government of national unity by Afenifere, also on page 10. 2023 Royal Blessings boost Oshimbajo's presidential ambition, on page 10 as well. UBA's profitability rises 9.6% to 44.5 billion naira. That story is on page 19. NDLEA asks political parties to make drug tests part of screening for aspirants. That's on page 4. Angry youths chase away Ondo majority leader over poor performance. That's on page 10. Thousands from APC Secretariat, thousands storm APC Secretariat as Governor Bello picks nomination form, on page 4. There's a picture here as Amici meets party men in Owerri. Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodimma presenting kola nuts to presidential aspirant Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi during Amechi's consultation meeting with the 5 Southeast APC state chairman, LGA executives, delegates and party faithful at the party secretariat in Owerri on Tuesday. Bello Peaks APC form. Also a picture here of the Kogi state governor, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, receiving his presidential nomination and expression of interest forms from APC National Chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, at the APC Secretariat, Abuja, yesterday. NLC fumes over federal government's silence on prolonged varsity workers' strike. That's on page 25. Kidnapping, Afenifere, sans false Senate's criminalization of ransom payment. That is on page 8. Nigeria's startup bill, senators pledge quick passage as youths protest at National Assembly, also on page 8. And Hush Puppy, Malami's application stalls hearing in Abba Kyari's extradition to U.S. That story is on page 4. And those are the stories that you'll find on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Let's take you through Nigerian Tribune very quickly. The big story states Afenifere advocates government of national unity. You find that on page 2. COVID-19 still around, FG wants. You find that one on page 12. NDLEA wants political parties to screen aspirants for drug. You find that on page 15. Train attack, abducted female passenger gives birth in terrorist's den. You find that on page 28. Killer policeman at Lagos birthday party identified as police hunt for celebrant. You find that one on page 28 as well. APC presidential race, Jonathan can run, but I'm sure I'll pick ticket boasts Yahaya Bello. 2 riders. The first one says thousands storm APC secretariat as he picks nomination forms. And the second rider, Nigerian youths now taking responsibility. This is from Abiola Costello. You find that on page 4. FG moves to weaken power over ASU. 2 riders, financial autonomy being worked on for universities. And a second rider, Nigerians spend 1.6 trillion naira annually on tuition abroad. That's according to ASU. You find details of that one on page 8. Afe Babalola's firm writes APC national chairman of a call for governor's disqualification. You find that on page 14. Wajuba, Minister of State for Education, declares for presidency. 2 riders, buys 100 million naira APC presidential form. Another writer says, I won't resign until 30 days to election. Details of that you find on page 4 of the paper. Senate passes law to prohibit payment of ransom to kidnappers. You'd find that on page 11. And, this is an interesting one as well. Alleged poor performance. Angry constituents chase Ondo lawmaker out of community. You find that one on page 14. These are the stories on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. We have just about 8 more minutes to wrap up the entirety of the show. I think we should look at that final story, the one of angry constituents chasing a lawmaker out of community.
It's also here in the Vanguard newspaper.
So, can we get to a point whereby it will not just be pertinent to Ondo alone, and it will be a national thing?
This is not the first time it happened sometimes in Katsina. That was about 2 years ago. He went with that legislator.
Right.
He went with this Jeep, Prado Jeep, and
Right.
in fact, if they wanted to grab his agbada, but his babariga, but they didn't succeed. You see, I think our lawmakers must be very careful. And again, we are not even looking at our lawmakers. We always talk about the president, the governors, whereas the people who can make it happen or not make it happen are the legislatures. Because when they don't pass laws, we don't have anything guiding us. On many occasions, for instance, see this police, the state police, they even voted. That was before the final outcome of the 5th alteration.
Right.
Before they passed a law, and they voted in the House of Representatives 11-14. After that, the senators were now saying we need state police. Chief Obasanjo is saying we need state police. And the question is, what are our lawmakers doing? Don't they belong to constituencies? Don't their constituents, tell them the problem of insecurity? Are they bothered about it? The fact remains that most of them don't come back, to come and so even ask, how do I vote? In the US, if you don't come back, you will lose the next election, because apart from the fact that they will protest, even on abortion, on any issue, you don't have to talk to your constituents. I don't even know. I know it because of my job.
Right.
I know who the House of Reps and Senators are. I've never seen them. None of them has ever called me to attend any meeting. They don't come back. It's when they are canvassing for votes that you see them. I think it's a good thing. Sometimes, I think we'll get there. There was this piece, written by Dele Momodu, talking about this domination and all that. Then he quoted that was Snowden. That Snowden said there is a limit to incivility, inequality, and inhumanity that can be tolerated by any human being. He said, "I'm not alone. I will soon cross, cross the bar." And he said, and Dele Momodu now added, sooner than later, Nigerians will cross the bar to start protesting. I think we are getting there gradually, because there's nothing to show. It's this year now. For instance, governance has taken the backwaters. Nobody is talking about governance again. ASU is on strike. Nobody is talking about education. Nobody is talking about health. It's just 2023. And they are going about with this, their big time, big lifestyle, with jeeps and what have you. I mean, people at a point in time, Nigerians will be tired about it, and that's what we are seeing now. Because most of them don't go back. In fact, especially the 2019-2023 legislators, most of them don't go back. Only few of them. When I see people who needed just 400,000 naira for operation, and they have to keep coming to radio stations to say, please advertise. It sickens me. And you have legislators, you have people who could come to their aid, or who could go and mention their case, at the National Assembly to enact a law that will help them. So it's coming. It's coming. Right.
All right, let's let you be a part of the conversation for the very few minutes that we have left. We can only take we can only take a couple of calls this morning. 0704 400 1067. All right, we have this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, quick one. Yeah, my name is Folani Bonao from Michigan.
Thanks for calling again. Go on.
Yeah, I want to have my take this morning on this the topic. First of all, to that woman, giving birth in the how did they kidnappers then? It's just like they are playing. How am I going to play? They are playing on us. They are taking us for a ride. The government has been lethargic enough, you understand, for a kind of thing to be happening. In that, where did they see this doctor initially? How did they get this doctor? And one thing I want to say is this: that I'm advising our government, since they are doing a kind of bill that they don't want to let them to pay ransom again, they should, where the punishment it should be increased. It should be a vital punishment. It shouldn't be a minor punishment for any kidnapper. They should amend that too. And lastly, to Baba Marua, he has been doing wonderfully, giving awards to his member. I mean, to his the people those the workers, the owner of the NDLA, and he has been performing wonders. Like what he said, that he's going to test all these our political ambitions or the political appointees or whatever they call themselves. It's a good one. It's a welcome development. I give him bravo. Thank you.
Right.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning once again.
All right, Afolabi, thanks for calling. You're a final caller. Go on.
Eddy, I want to ask if you know, the aspirants from the southern part of this country, especially from this state, are they serious at all? Or is there any other thing behind the declaration of each and every one of them? Because I'm still seeing more coming. Are they serious at all?
Thank you very much, Afolabi. That's a question to you, Eddie. He's wondering why we're having so many aspirants from the south coming to declare. I mean, the news is it's all over basically, and we're expecting confirmation in the coming days. You talked about Senator Ebekula also declaring to run for presidency and all of that. So he's wondering why there are so many, and he's expecting more to declare in the coming days.
Well, it depends on. I'm sure before the primaries, something will happen. Maybe some of them will have to step down. But you can't stop the aspiration of anybody, the interest of anybody, to contest because the Constitution allows it.
Right.
But what the question that must bother us is, as Southwesterners, are we not bothered that more people, especially Southwest, are we not bothered that people who should even queue behind one individual are now coming? And that the problem is that somebody somewhere in Abuja is trying to do divide and rule. Somebody is likely to do divide and rule, and that's the reason why more people are coming to to come out instead of queuing behind one person that they know this person has electoral
clout.
Ability.
Okay, well, we'll have to go now. Thank you very much for everyone who's been a part of this. Eddie, thank you so much for being here from 8 o'clock.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Eddie. You will be joined by Uzo and Miriam tomorrow. I am Odera Otaru.
I am Gbenga Faye. Have a fantastic day.